fighting to bring government back to the people and out of the hands of dictators. And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. You're not New Yorkers.
Who could have guessed that telling the wealthiest and most mobile New Yorkers that you're going to steal 60% of their income while simultaneously reducing their quality of life, and if they don't like it, they can just leave, would backfire? We don't need all the evil, greedy, rich people and their tax revenues. We'll just survive on vibes, socialism, and diversity. And now fast forward to today, and Governor Kathy Hochul is literally on her hands and knees begging these people to come back.
And being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay. Cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this. But we can fund what we want to fund with what we already are taking in.
Did you hear how draconian and sinister her language was? She referred to New Yorkers pre-COVID as being held captive as the justification for stealing all of their money in taxes. Yeah, we could tax them into oblivion and waste all the money because they were held captive here. And she didn't even try to entice the rich people back by saying, we'll tax you less, we'll spend less, we'll spend more efficiently. We'll create a competitive, attractive business environment that makes you want to come back. She said, we need you back because we promised our voters all this free stuff and we need you to pay for it. This impractical contradiction is what undermines the ideological foundation of the left. They hate rich people and think they shouldn't exist, but they simultaneously need all the rich people to pay for all the free stuff they want. And the cycle breaks and completely falls apart the moment the rich person decides they're done funding the lifestyle of lazy dependents who hate them. And this is why in America we reject socialist policies so fiercely, because they can cause massive, long-lasting damage extremely rapidly. And that's why the billionaire owner of New York's largest grocery chain said, I talked to all my friends who have moved to Florida and Texas. They're not coming back.
I mean, what do you say to her?
This is a joke. I mean, nobody that's gone down to Florida is coming back. What was the old expression? Slim and none? I won't use the third word. Slim and none. About people that went to Florida, went to Texas, they're not coming back.
She's kind of saying the quiet part out loud, right? We just want you back so you can fund our far left policies in the state.
Won't happen. It won't never happen. And right now, I'm worried about New York because once they want to lower the estate tax, and I'm over a certain age. I'm eligible for estate tax. My kids will hate me if I don't move to Florida because they want. But they're punishing not only the rich. They're not only punishing the billionaires and the millionaires. They want to reduce the estate tax from $7 million down to $750,000. Everybody's house in New York is worth $750,000. So they want to punish everybody.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. They don't realize that I should come back so I could feed the migrants.
These stupid and predictably disastrous policies are a direct downstream consequence of believing men can become women. Once you've decided that basic biological reality doesn't exist, none of your policies or ideas need to be anchored in truth or reality or practicality. Like, if men can't become women, then sure, import 20 million third world builders into the country. It's impossible for that to have any consequences. Reality would tell you that 1% of New York residents pay 45% of income taxes. But because reality is an ideological hurdle, they must delusionally believe that they can tell all rich people to go to hell, leave the state, and everything will still be fine. People who rely on free stuff from the government are always going to vote for more free stuff from the government, never less. And it becomes mob rule voting fueled by envy and jealousy, the many voting to steal from the few, and somehow in this communist utopia equation, they never factor in rich people just leaving. And they're certainly not coming back when reports like this show that New York City, despite having absolutely no money, is spending an eye-watering amount on homeless people.
They let them live someplace
It'd be
else.
one thing if they were proving that spending all this money is helping the homeless population get off the streets and get back into work, but there's no sign of that. In fact, the homeless population is only growing in this city. Governor Hochul, meanwhile, is taxing on...
So in 2025, New York City spent $1 million a day on homeless people, which comes out to over $81,000 per homeless person per year, which is more than the average New York City income. But it gets even worse. This New York Post article says Mamdani administration inks $1.9 billion 3-year contract to house homeless in New York City hotels. Ladies and gentlemen, that is over $600 million per year for the next 3 years just on housing homeless people. And of course, Mamdani said these hotels won't be doing immigration checks. So it's safe to say this number is so high because they're accounting for housing hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants. These are the fiscal priorities of New York City while they're begging the state for more money, and now the state governor is begging billionaires and millionaires to come back and pay for all this. It's the same problem in Gavin Newsom's California. Spending on homeless people continues to rise, and the homeless population continues to rise with it. Because it's not about solving homelessness or fixing the homelessness problem. It's about using taxpayer money to fund left-wing NGOs, provide them with job security, and they turn around and support and donate left-wing candidates. These NGOs that provide free services to homeless people get paid per homeless person that they help. These shelters get paid for every homeless person that they house. If they ever successfully fix the homeless problem, then they'll all be out of a job. And then there's no more excuse for them to launder your tax money back into their own pockets. It's almost like if you financially reward people for making bad decisions, they'll keep making bad decisions. If being homeless means I receive more in government aid than I would make working a full-time job in New York City, why would I ever work? And so it becomes this unsustainable system where you have people who are more than happy to scam and leech off the system and live a comfortable life. And then you have people who want to be responsible and self-sufficient who are working hard and barely keeping their head above water. And the glue that holds the entire system together erodes the moment the hardworking person realizes that they are a fool for not also leeching off the government. But while Zoran is offering free childcare to all the illegals in New York City and free housing to any homeless person in America that can make their way to New York, he's increasing property taxes and robbing pension funds to pay for it. Watch.
What we'd rather do is ensure that they remain as they are so that the city can be on firm financial footing. However, in order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other years.
Believing in the benefits of socialism is only acceptable if you're in high school. It is utterly pathetic for any self-respecting adult to believe that imaginary, fanciful ideology. If you believe the government can successfully make us all happy and prosperous, hey, I got a bridge to sell you. The financial burden always falls on the working class and it crushes them. But that's the goal. When the working class has to pay all of their income to taxes, They are forced to be government welfare dependents. They simply don't have enough money to get by without assistance from the government. It's an ideology designed to concentrate all wealth and power in the hands of the government and strip the citizenry of all liberty and freedom. And it's no surprise there's a direct correlation between the growing sentiment of socialism and the growing population of third worlders. Because the belief that it's acceptable to steal from someone who has more than you so you can get ahead is totally normal behavior in places where the people are in perpetual survival mode. Stealing, cheating, robbing, frauding, killing, those are all justifiable ways of staying alive in third world countries. So of course they come here and vote for the steal from the rich people to make your life better party. But it isn't just because they fundamentally believe stealing is okay. It's also because they fundamentally hate America, see us as their enemy, and think we deserve it. Zohran Mamdani's wife's old social media post just resurfaced, and take a look at what she thinks of American soldiers. Her post said, "American soldiers fighting in imperialist wars are not brave, nor are they fighting for anyone's freedom. They are mercilessly slaughtering third world civilians and fighting to maintain American hegemony. That is all. Thank you."